Sutterville friends, it's Miss Kris here, and I thought it would be really fun for us to play with some color. So let's maybe call this week 1 of playing with color. That's what I think we should do. So let's see, how shall we talk about this? Oh, I've got a great idea. In my garden I have lots of flowers. Let me introduce you to one of them. These are called snapdragons. And snapdragons come in lots of different colors. This particular variety is a beautiful burgundy color. Burgundy is kind of like a red color with a little bit of blue in it, and they're just lovely. But not all flowers have a lot of coloration, a lot of color in their petals. I have another flower that is in my garden, which is a rose. Let me show you this one. It's very pale pink, a really, really beautiful color. But what I was thinking is maybe it would be fun if we played with these flowers and we gave them a little bit of color. So let's try and do that. So I've got it all worked out. So here's an experiment that you can play with, but I think you're gonna need some help from an adult, from a parent or a grandparent or an auntie or someone in your house who thinks this experiment would be fun. So go ahead, and this is what you're going to need. The supplies you're going to need are going to be maybe some food coloring, and it could be any color you like, but definitely pick a color that you think would be fun. You're also going to need a glass with some warm water, and you're going to need about half a cup of warm water. And it's really key that it is warm because it's the warmth of the water that really helps with this experiment. So now let's see here. I'm going to be choosing red, and red food coloring. It's going to be about 20 to 30 drops of red food coloring, and the more food coloring that you put in, the more intense or vibrant or the darker the color it will be in your flower. So you can just think about 20 will give you a good amount of coloration, but maybe 30 or 40 drops will give you a lot better coloration. So I've put my colorant in there, and I'm going to mix that up. Make sure it's thoroughly mixed up. You can use the gel colorants or you can use the water-based ones. So now I've got colored water, and now I'm going to put my pale pink rose right in there. Boop. Make sure the stem stays on the inside because it's going to actually drink up the water. Isn't that crazy? Let me explain that a little bit better. Okay, so I have here a drawing, and this is a daisy, a beautiful white daisy. And you can see that I've cut the bottom of it, and I have put it into the water because everything needs to be able to drink water, humans as well as flowers. And as it goes through the day and it needs to drink, what if the only water we gave it had red coloration in it or red dye? I think what would happen is that this white daisy would drink up the red dyed water all the way up through its stem, would actually even go through its petals too, all the way straight up into the petals. And that red colored water would start to make the petals, in this case, red. Isn't that amazing? See, what happens is everything is sort of breathing and drinking water, just like people. And when we work out as humans, we sweat. And did you know that flowers and plants sweat too? And then when they want to replace the water that they have sweated, they actually have to drink, just like people do. So now let's see. I put my flower into red dye. I happen to have done this experiment earlier, and I will show you what it looks like when you take green food coloring and you add it to water and see what happens to my pale pink flower. Remember, it looked originally like this, but when I put this beautiful lime green color in there, it made my flower yellow, kind of lime green. I love green. I also did it with some purple dye. 30 or 40 drops of purple dye in half a cup of water, and you can see that instead of having a pale pink flower, I have here a purple flower. You can even see streaks of little blue that's right in there. So when people sweat, it's called perspiration, and when plants sweat, it's called transpiration. I can't even say that. Isn't that crazy? All right, my Sutterville friends, thank you so much for joining me. Remember, week 1 with playing with color. Let's see what we'll do next weekend. But for now, I miss you, and I look forward to seeing you next week. All right, take care, Sutterville friends.